What's up guys, Axen here. Just wanted to do a new month on sound design because the last two videos were on my mixing chain, the signal flow stuff, so basically what I used on pretty much every channel with processing, and the other one was my layering tutorial on how I do my layering and stuff like that. So I thought it made sense that the other tutorial that I do would be on sound design, right? So today I want to make like a machine gun bass. So I've already written down the MIDI, pretty decent patch before, so I thought I'll try and recreate. So got the initialized patch right now. Turn that up a bit. That's what we got now. So first things first, I want to get wavetable. I've been really liking these white wavetables. I've been playing with these heaps lately. Been having a lot of fun with put that octave lower. That's right. We want to good old F from B. Just dial in a little bit of that. Turn the level all the way down so that's not actually affecting anything. I mean, it is affecting the other oscillator, it's just you can't hear anything that way. Because otherwise if you've got them both up, it's kind of difficult. So next I want to make like a good shape. So when you're doing the actual shape of the sound, you just got to think of the sound itself, like what is it exactly. So machine gun bass is something that's, you know, going to be very short. So obviously the MIDI notes have to reflect that, but it's also the shape itself that's going to be triggering it. So obviously you have to put it on trigger. And we have to route this to the level. So then every time the note hits, it triggers this shape, right? So you're going to get that affecting the volume every time. So you're going to get something short like that. Next up, what we'll do next is the distortion, because the distortion plays such a big part of this. I've been using a lot of linfold and synfold. I don't know what they actually stand for, but I've been using these two a lot and pretty much everything lately. You don't need to have too much drive on this either, because it's really strong distortion. Might dial that back a little bit. Just gonna change the wavetable. Next, what we're going to do is add in another shape. So have this. Maybe have this like. Triggering. Have a bit of sub in there. Change that a little bit as well. We can add a filter as well. My go-to right now is actually it's Comb Plus. Using this on like everything. Something else I've been doing as well is like just doing double. So like you have the combs here as well. It's just basically the drive, you know, that's because I've got the cutoff all the way up. It's just the drive affecting it. Just makes everything more thicker, really. We could also add a EQ to kind of give it this more valley sound by having the routing like the frequency. So maybe just a little bit of movement. You need to have that movement if you want to have that machine gun valley kind of sound. Shit, my computer's not being able to handle this properly. So, I mean, you can go ahead and add all sorts of other effects here, but that's like the main part of the sound. Other than that, what you could be doing. Sorry guys, my computer's really struggling. Guys, it's sounding a lot better now actually, but I think what we'll do now is I'll show you guys a bit of the processing that I would do for a sound like this. So finally, plugin's loaded up. So generally you just want to dial in, as I was showing in the previous video. Sorry, sounding a lot better. Then I'm going to add an EQ. And then I'm going to good old OTT. Just gonna turn it down a little bit, and then add a Camel Crusher, some quick distortion. So that's sounding a lot better now. What I would do as well, because the thing is you can process all that stuff essentially in Serum. Like you can do the OTT, you can't do the EQ really, and the saturation. I mean, you can distort it a lot heavier and stuff like that, but it's mainly the saturation and EQing and maybe limiting as well if you want to. That would be crucial to do post-processing, because you can't do that inside the Serum. Is as precise as you can be with a Pro EQ, obviously. I mean, you can do, like, if you weren't using the EQ in here as bands that are like opening and moving like this, if you weren't using that, you could use it to like do low cuts and high cuts and whatever, but you can't obviously be as precise as this, you know, especially with the mid-side stuff. It's really important to get that down. So what you can do after that, as I was explaining in the previous videos, you can like EQ it again, get rid of the bottom that it's added with the distortion, and then maybe limit it again, but I don't really need to do that here. Just trying to fatten up the sound. So let's hear how it is now. So maybe a bit more reverb. Okay. What I will do now is make sure this sub has got the same shape as this. It's generally about the same. Okay, that should be right. Now we're going to route this, route both of them to my side chain. Number 18. Nope. So I'm going to do that sub as well, and the sub is number bus 11. I'll just bust that real quick.
Make your music stand out, get more views, and way more engagement. Bring your music to life. Get Music Visualizer in every format, even for social media. Get started today. The link is in the description.
And that's all there is to the bass sound. But as I was showing before, it's really important on the actual initial shape that you've got routed to the level. Also, what's really important is, depending on how the second LFO is going to dictate how the rest of the sound is going to be. So I always recommend it's best to just start off just using 2 different LFO shapes for when you're creating an initial sound. And then once you've actually built like the main sound itself, you can then maybe add more routing. So you could add another LFO, I don't know, affecting maybe the distortion even. Like maybe you could do something like that. I don't know how this is gonna sound, but I'm just gonna tweak this a little bit because I don't have anything on the master. Yeah. These hats are way too loud. It's because they're not even routed to my sidechain here. Number 6. So let's say I then routed I kept playing with this. So that distortion being routed to LFO3 now is making a huge difference in the sound. It's making it a lot more machine gun sounding. And then also changing the octaves is a cool way of making variations in the drop itself. So I could have it initially just being on 0 octave. And then this section here, it could be like an octave higher. Yeah, I just keep it an octave higher. You can just do slight variation like that for the whole drop, basically. But like for a track like this, I wouldn't have it just completely the machine gun thing the whole way through. Like I'm just kind of using this as an example. Like I would maybe have a few of these and then switch it to something else. Like I've got some examples here. Ugh, my computer is so bad. Sorry about that. So I would be using just a few of these and then chopping it in between some of these maybe. So I'll see how this sounds if I just chop out that, for example. Yeah, I do variations like that and maybe use this one instead as well. So like, you can chop between things like this. Oh. So maybe kind of stuff like that. Just using other synths to fill it out. Like I wouldn't go through and just use the same machine gun the whole way through. But yeah, I hope that helps, guys. Just make sure that you're always layering with the sub with the same shape. So just make sure like the sub is following that same LFO shape and it will fit perfectly. And then obviously you have to go through and just like adjust the EQ to fit that same spectrum. Because I mean, if you're cutting out this much on the machine gun, right? You've got this much of the sub that needs to be replaced. Because I noticed a lot of you guys are sending in stuff for the feedback streams. A lot of you guys are just layering your sub not right. So you just got to make sure that it's sitting in the right place. For a sound like this as well, you don't really need to layer it with another sound underneath. And the reason being is because when you're using distortion like this, it adds so much depth to it that you don't really need to worry about the bottom end. Like, because it's such a heavy sound. But when it's generally I find when I'm using other types of distortions, it's not really filling out that bottom end enough. So you might need to layer it with another duplicate. And all you got to do is literally duplicate the sound like so. And again, this plays hand in hand with the layering tutorial I was talking about. You know, so it's the same concept. All you're doing is you're like low cutting it there. I mean, you're high cutting it here. Right? You can also use the OTT and just take out like most of the high, like so. Just multi-banding it away. And then you can just change the wavetable a little bit. So something like that. I'm gonna put it like way lower. I'll put the tone to dark instead of bright. Put it like way lower. So if I just solo that here. See, you can layer it like that when you're using two layers. So this one's just covering the bottom end. And that's the top. But if, like I was saying, if you're actually doing it how we initially started out with the machine gun synfold kind of distortion, like, because just then I was using diode, but if you're using linfold or synfold, you